And now we're going to work on the playfield. I'm going to be printing out some nice color cards instead of the old ones with all the rules and how much money they cost, something like that. Haven't finalized any designs yet. But yeah, I'm going to sort of start back here, taking that apart, taking off the ramps, taking off the slingshots, so I can get in there and do some more lighting. So I removed the two ramps. I'm going to clean them. I'm going to remove the plastic pieces here so I can get to the star posts to put in new lamps. We have a new one of these coming, and I have a new plate here, so I'm going to remove that as well. We're going to slide it out, and then we're going to work on the turtle's light in the back. Just being a single LED, it's a ring of LEDs that goes inside the inside here, gets secured in there, bayoneted in, and gives you a nice bright playfield. This is a red one. So I've taken off the turtle light. I left the screws in so I remember where they go. There's brackets like that. You can see there's the green light that I put in. The rest were just all white bulbs. This has got to get repainted. The turtle sign, not bad, pretty flat, in good shape. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. I'm going to replace these and give this a coat of paint tonight. So there, I've got the bulbs changed out. I put in new flashers that you'll see when we get to that point. These will illuminate the sign very nicely. So that'll look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to reassemble this section right now. Just replacing a few bulbs. The flasher goes in there nicely. Got some colored bulbs in there, color bulbs in there, and along here. Some white bulbs under there for now. Again, these will be star posts shortly, as well as two of these. And we'll be putting the rings into all of those. So I replaced all those. So that's coming along. The slingshots, we're going to replace all the rubbers. There's two lights here. There's 4 posts, and there's 2 posts. We're going to replace those with the star post lights that are going to go underneath each of these, make it a little bit brighter and nicer. Okay, so now you'll notice the slingshot plastic. We are getting new ones, but I am going to use a heat gun, a paint stripper gun, and I'm going to lightly melt these back to a nice flat state. They could be resold, I guess. So now these are nice and straight and flat. Just you heat them on this side, then you press them flat. It takes all the bends right out. Okay, so I've finished some of the playfield stuff. I repainted the top here. Looks much better. This has all been cleaned and has all LED bulbs now. They're actually very nice and green when you see them in person. LEDs here, put in some ring caps here. I've got to double check this one, but the ring caps look a lot nicer, certainly brighter. Put a couple of colors in, kind of colored bulbs in here matching the targets. Kind of a red bulb under there. Some things going on over here, some purple, some green. I have put, but I haven't yet put them up, the star lights, LEDs. So I've got 2 there. I've got a couple in here, so you can see them tagged under there. Then same on this side. I've got a couple here, so all these star posts are going to light up. I might change these whites to something else. I kind of like the brightness right now. I have put the pieces back on, the plastic. I heated them a little bit to make sure that they were good. So it's coming along. I wanted to show you the lamps. You can see that's kind of what they look like, nice and bright. I had to hot glue them in, and then they go right into the little wedge connector. I had to repair this one, but certainly adds a nice dimension to the game. So this is what it's looking like right now, still without the post lights yet, but nice green under there. Got some red over here. I haven't done any of the insets underneath yet, so I've just done all these. Got the caps all nice. Again, the turtles, screen, and the backboard looks pretty darn good. So as mentioned, I put starlights underneath the posts. Here's some that I just lit up. So I soldered them to the light that's back here. You can see they make a big difference. So now I've got to put wire up these ones, and the two on the slingshots. So that's going to add a lot of color. Starlights all powered up. Playfield lights are all in. You can see we've got a couple there, a couple there, a couple there, over there, and there. And overall, they really light up the playfield. So they are a great, easy addition. Sometimes I'll just pick something easy to change, like the really gross old flipper buttons, with nice brand new green ones. So just using an adjustable wrench, I left all this in place, just used it there to pull off that nut on each side and put in a nice new button. Here's a little something extra I'm going to do. This is down here. That's the capture ball, But for whatever reason, there's a light here, there's a light there, there's a light there. There's no light on this bottom hole. So that's kind of weird. So anyway, I'm going to put a socket in and a bulb, and I'm just going to simply connect it to this one so they both come on at the same time. That'll at least put some more light. I just added a missing light there. I put in one of the directional ones. I tied it back here, and I just attached it here. I attached the ground to the bottom, and I attached the other side to the other side of the diode, and it's looking really pretty good. So that's just something that was missing from the game for some very strange reason. All right, I'll show you what that looks like on the other side. Just before I close up, put the top back down, I'll show you, here's what I was doing with flashers. There's a nice flasher here, and the little LEDs on the neck that you can kind of move around, which is pretty nice. And these were all just replaced with white bulbs. Some colored ones, some big ones. In the bottom of the playfield here, they were the larger kind of flasher wedge. You can see there. So now I just have to conquer. There's a few under here that I was hoping I could get to from back here, but I cannot. So I'm gonna have to take some of the stuff apart again. There was a bunch of bulbs. This is the sewer trough. There's a bunch of bulbs kind of stuck under there. A couple flashers and regular bulbs that I disassembled from here rather than taking the trough off. I just took them apart, replaced the bulbs. On this side of the playfield, a couple things you can see. Again, now this light lights up with the rest of them, which is kind of nice. Not sure why they did that before. I also have a white bulb here that I don't like. I think that should be a red bulb or an orange So I'm going to change that one out. Then I have to get back way under to get a couple that are hidden back there. I think the ramp's apart. To get these back 3 bulbs, I have to remove this whole ramp. It goes right around. Slide it kind of up and out of the way. And you can see the bulbs are protected. So I have to take a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers, pull those out. So I've already replaced the red one. Sorry, I replaced those 2. Then I just have to pound these little protectors back in. I've got new rubbers to go right along the back there. And that should be about it. I'm going to clean it up too a bit back there. Getting everything assembled again. That was more work than I was expecting. The problem was just getting the tension on that back bumper rubber and being able to put the screw back in. I also added these little covers. They're just dress up for what's underneath, which is kind of ugly. I know you don't really see it, but they kind of just dress it up a little bit. So I'm going to reassemble this. The only other lighting issue I have is with this jackpot light. The jackpot light's not working. There's 4 flasher bulbs, there's a couple different ones back there right now, that are attached to the flasher circuit. Now I've disconnected this, and they're not working. So that's something I'm going to have to trace back as well. So that's pretty well the LED replacements. So now on to other things underneath. Just in my sort of final review, all done, I'm like, crap. Missed one. So I got to take the ramps out again. So I got that one changed and replaced the rubber. Then I noticed there's 2 under here. So I'm going to get those. I'm going to double check because I think if I can turn the camera the right way, we can maybe see there's another one back there. There it is. See it peeking in there? So I got to figure out how to get to that one. Take out the post. And look, there's 2 little sneaky buggers down there. And of course, those are like hardwired in, so you can't remove them from the back side. So let me get those done and I'll put this back. So that's all fixed. Now just to kind of get in there and get that one. I replaced the white one with the green one there. But you can see that guy's way back there. I think that's the final lamp. Of course, I have to remove all this plastic just to get to that one little bulb. Anyway, my goal was to complete all the LEDs tonight. I started at about 6 o'clock. It's almost 9. So 3 hours worth of LED work tonight. Got it in there. Got a nice yellow, green, kind of matches, and red. So now those bulbs are all changed too. So I think now I'm done. So I think that's all the LEDs now. Thank goodness, you can see they're kind of all done back there. So still a couple of major things to do. One of them on the play field. One of the major sort of items on this game is the spinning pizza. But you can see just how bad that looks. Here's what the new one looks like. Let me take it out. So that's what the new one will look like compared to that. It's got a real texture to it because as it spins, it moves the balls off track. But you can see the color didn't work out very well. So that makes a huge difference on the playfield. So I might do that tomorrow. So this morning I am just going to be cleaning and touching up the 2 main ramps. They're in great shape, so mainly what you see is not damaged whatsoever. However, on the back side, there's some paint that's missing, a couple pieces where it's rubbed. Just areas that you want to kind of fix before it goes back on the play field, just so it doesn't continue to flake. So I'm going to sand these a little bit, and then I'm going to use my daffodil yellow paint, see how close that comes. And I've got a lime green for this one. Doesn't really totally matter if they are an exact match. These are acrylic paints. I'm just going to touch them up, rough them up a little bit. Look for any other spots and give them a little shot of paint with a small paintbrush, and then put them back on the playfield. So I'm going to let that dry. It'll probably look a little better. And again, to really stop the peeling of it, and these go this way down, so you never see that side anyway. It's not an exact match. It'll look a little better once it dries. So now I've also removed from the play field the pizza spinner. You can see it goes right there. So I'm going to clean up this area. There was a nice quick disconnect here, so I could remove the whole thing. And basically, you can see it's a metal disc with the little sticker on it. So I am going to use my heat gun just to heat the corners to see if the decal starts coming off in a nice. So I heated it, and you can see now it's starting to peel. There is a bit of goo left on here, so I'm gonna have to clean that after. But not a big deal. I was using my razor to slice it off, heat gun to just make it a little, see how much glue can come off. But that shouldn't be a big problem. I'll take care of that right now. There it is, the decal came off. Again, the heat gun really helped loosen it up. This is just a paint remover gun. That really loosened it up, and then it peeled right off. So now, as you can see, there's glue left on here that I am going to remove now before I put the new decal on. And I'll clean this up a bit. Also see, I've been heating up the glue, and rather than using any harsh abrasives, I've just been peeling it off. Then I will clean it with alcohol and put the new one on. So that's all nice and clean. I did use some Goo Gone on it. I also used some rubbing alcohol. I got the whole mechanism pretty well spotless. And again, there's the old decal, and there's the new one. So that makes a huge difference on the play field. So I am going to now, it's just adhesive back, so I'm going to peel that off and place it on there, and maybe use the heat gun to just warm it up a little bit. So next time you see that, I'll have it back in the on the play field. Here's the play field. LEDs are all done. Back glass had been touched up in the spots that were shining through. New speakers put in. Everything's clean back here. Got all the little lights in the back figured out and changed, so there is no issues with any bulbs. And again, the biggest thing on the play field is, look at that. I mean, compared to what that looked like before, that's like just a huge difference right in the middle of the play field. So I think that's probably one of the biggest transformations right there. You can actually tell it's a pizza. I mean, here it kind of looks like a doormat. So pretty happy with the way that turned out. Before I put the ramps back on, I just wanted to point out we've ordered a new plastic for here, and I ordered a new kick plate here. So that's just basically a metal plate. It stops the ball from coming up and doing this mostly. Anyway, so that's coming. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to quickly wax the play field, give it a good shine, then put the ramps back on. Then we're done the play field, with the exception of replacing that broken graphic. Shine up the play field, I use mill wax. I use Novus as well for cleaning and plastic parts. I just find this kind of gives it a little bit extra. So I've just lightly, in circular fashion, applied the wax to the playfield. Gonna let her dry, then shine her up. Like with everything else, you know, when you're cleaning things, quite often you find something that looks weird or doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I was looking here as I was cleaning this plastic, and you can see there's like a blade here, the metal, piece of metal. And what it looks like to me is there used to be one in the middle here and one along here, and they're both missing. So I did find one though. Look at that in the base of the unit, just sort of sitting there. I don't know if this is something new I can get. I'll have to look on Marco. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be 4 of them. I would imagine so. So this one would go kind of like here, like so. And I think what it's designed to do is to just keep the colors separated, right? Because you've got bright yellow flashers, green flashers, and this just stops the color from sort of bleeding through. But they're quite worn. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. This one that's on this side is hanging in there, but you can see it's starting to come off too. I also found a small piece of metal missing here that I also found that just glues across here as a stopgap so the balls don't get stuck. So I finished waxing, but discovered a few other little things, so I'm gonna see what I can do to find new ones of this. You can see I've started to remove the backing tape because it's just dried up. So I used just a blade to take the glue off, or the tape that was on there. I also used a sanding block, and look how nice that turned out. So that was the one that you just saw that was all gnarly. So just lightly sanded and it came right up. So I haven't found any on Marco or anywhere else yet, so I think I'm gonna leave that one where it is because it's too hard to peel off without breaking the plastic. This one I am going to install there, like so. Whoops. Well, you get the idea. So at least there's a guard on either side. I might be able to get in and sand that one a little bit too. It actually went on better than I was expecting. I used some pretty heavy duty double-sided tape. I've got it on this piece as well that goes on the other side of the playfield. What I do too is I peel off the backing of the tape, and then I superheat it with the paint gun. And that gets it nice and sticky, and like that's on there pretty darn good. And it looks pretty good. This one I'm just going to leave the way it is. I'm nervous of damaging the plastic. It's on there pretty tight. All right, so before I play a game, I'm just gonna put this on. This is the original topper that goes on the machine. Of course, it's got paper on there. Comes with a couple brackets. I'm going to peel this off and install that just so it's out of my way. There we go with the original topper. Now the glass still isn't in, so it's going to be noisy, but I'm going to see what we can do. Green light there in the sewer when it pops up. All right, so next is going to be underneath. Going to be replacing the flippers. I'll probably be changing the memory to get rid of that as well. But yeah, so there'll be new flipper bats coming on here. These are old and broken.